Hello everybody, welcome to my next video, I guess. Now, this video isn't going to be on Index. I recorded I finished up chapter 3 today, so those should be out later this week along with the others, so you should look forward to that. But today I want to take a break from that and talk about something that's kind of aggravated me recently. It's an anime that recently came out. For those of you that don't know, I'm talking about Onigiri. Yeah, Onigiri, I'm talking about that besides Hero Academia and other stuff that came out recently. But I want to talk about that because I had an experience with the game. Because the game came out last year for the Xbox One for free. Yeah, Onigiri. So, first I want to talk about the game. Okay, I'm just going to talk about this in general. Just kind of give you my opinions on this thing. The game, the gameplay itself wasn't bad or anything, it was pretty fun actually, but it's like the game in general I had problems with, it would glitch out, stuff would happen, like the people in cutscenes when they talk, it would just freak out and then it would quit before their conversation even stopped, and all this, and I think I got like, how many hours, like, 20 hours? No? I don't know, I forget. I don't know how much time I put in the game, but it was a while, like a couple of days. And I couldn't get past the freaking level because I kept dying and dying and dying and dying. You need to do stuff with my equipment. That was mainly me, so that's my fault. But, it's like, I couldn't really play it because I was into the story, I was digging it, but it was like, I couldn't understand it because everything would just move so fast, the cutscenes, and it's like, even, like, when you have, like, play, like, a PSP game, like, Naruto, or, like, Naruto Ultimate Ninja 2, or whatever, on your PSP, or whatever you play it on, or Persona on PS Vita. It's like, you see the little anime cutouts of, like, the characters, and they pop up and they pop out, stuff like that. Well, Onigiri doesn't do that. They actually freaking made the art they actually made, like, 3D art images for the characters when they pop up and they talk, their mouths will move, or I think. And then you'll see, like, their body moves while like, being in that scene of, like, going in and out, having the text box below. It's just, it kind of freaks me out, honestly. I would have preferred it if they just stuck with animating, like, each character and then kind of stuck it in with no movement and just have them talk. Like, I would have preferred that over this freaky, weird 3D art that they're doing in the game. It was kind of weird. Granted, the enemy art, the enemy designs are pretty cool. Like, there's one monster that looks like Cookie Monster, but he's orange and he has like a hobo sack. He was pretty cool, and it's like there's many others too that were kind of cool. But it's like the overall art and like the way it looks kind of drove me away. It just looks really weird. And the swords, all the swords and weapons look super cool, and the moves are pretty cool. But it's like, honestly, like, controls for it are kind of weird. Like, there's nothing, you can get used to it. I got used to it. But it's like, still, I mean, the way it looks just kind of drove me away. Nothing really different about it. I feel like you should fly in it, personally. But that's just my opinion. But it's just, the game itself the gameplay and the battling wasn't bad. It was just the overall look of it kind of drove me away. And and one of the bigger factors was the fact that I couldn't, like, watch the cutscenes because they flip out every single time, and I would have to, go without watching that cutscene. Because animation in the cutscene, like the 3D models, aren't that bad. Because you see them actually move, and the camera pans, and they look fine. So it's just, overall the game was just fair. I just couldn't get it because of the art and the way the cutscenes were acting, so I kind of deleted it from my Xbox, so yeah. But yeah, I'm not here to talk about the game, I just want to give you my brief insight on the game. But it's like, I mainly want to talk about what they're doing with the series. Because it's like, most of you probably don't know what Onigiri is. If you don't know what Onigiri is, basically, it's, the name translates to restaurant, by the way, in Japanese. But, basically, it's like, two girls try to find a super strong swordsman man. They find him, and they want him to kill this super strong demon that's like sending out his demonlings into the land. And they fight different demons. They fight like this 8-headed dragon that looks super cool, by the way. He's in the game too. So, but it's like the game told it differently. Instead, you're like main character man with horns that just kind of appears and saves the girl, and then it's like you kind of meet everyone. But it's like, believe it or not, there's actually a manga to this story. And at first I thought it was actually a light novel, because I looked it up. I did research on this. And actually, I thought this was a light novel because it was on Bakatsuki, but it was just a Bakatsuki manga summary thing. It was like a weird website. But apparently Bakatsuki has its own manga site too. I don't know if that was just information or something that they do, but whatever. But yeah, it's a manga, and there are only 4 chapters, I believe, that are actually translated to English. And then there are like 12 that are the overall 12 raw Japanese. Oh, sorry. But it's like, I read the 4 manga chapters, and they were actually pretty good, honestly. Like, when I went into it, I was thinking, oh, it's just going to be a cutesy, funny little thing on, you know, like, just funniness and silliness and all this stuff. But no, it was actually had decent, like, fight scenes and actually decent story, from what I've read, anyway. You know, it's like, the 2 girls basically find a guy, his name's Elliot or something, and it's just kind of this funny thing where they try to get him to help them and fight, and he kind of ends up going with them. They fight all these cool demons and meet with other people as their journey goes. Yeah, it's not one of the most original tropes of anime, because pretty much almost every anime, mythical anime, does that anyway. But I just thought it was kind of cool, because it's just, like, there's blood in that manga. There is, like, people getting cut in half, and it's like you have, like, this silly princess-looking girl that actually, like, shoots bows and arrows, and you have her guardian, and then you meet other people like Susanoo and a guy with cat mask. I forget his name, but like this is like Bleach level of just quality, like of like violence and you know, overall tone. Like, you see them sword fight. You see, like, different characters just go at it. But, like, they bleed. They freaking... all this stuff. I was impressed. Like, wow. Like, if you haven't checked out the manga, just go look it up. There's only, like, 4 chapters total. If you want to... I kind of looked at the pictures raw, because, you know, I wanted to see. But I guess either they didn't complete it in Japan, or the rest is in Japan, or something. But I don't know. I don't know why they didn't translate all of it. There's this other series, too, called... when you see one called Onigiri Sasura or whatever it was, it's a completely different thing. Don't bother reading that, because that's not the same thing. But, yeah, but if you didn't know, recently they redid the Onigiri as an anime, which I was kind of excited for, because I was hoping they'd actually adapt some of it to the manga, you know, just do it and then maybe do the rest on their own or whatever. Because, you know, you never know, they could have just did the rest in Japan or whatever, but... They just resorted to this weird chibi video game thing, like that weird sort of online thing did, where everyone kind of acts differently. I don't know, I just kind of heard of it, but it's just, that's not what Onigiri is a video game, but they don't really say it in the manga. Like, they don't say, oh, this is a video game. No, they don't. It's an actual freaking fantasy world that the story takes place in. It's not a freaking video game you go into. So that already kind of made me upset. But it's like... I just didn't understand why. It's like, I guess there wasn't really much of a budget, but if they have much of a budget to freaking make it look good, as they did in that, because I watched a little bit of it, and it looked pretty good, like, art-wise. It's like, it tries to be, you know, that weird Naruto spinoff of, like, Rock Lee and his Ninja Pals? It tries to be like that, but video game, you know? It just doesn't work. Honestly, it doesn't. It just doesn't. I didn't like it. I didn't like the Onigiri thing. I really would like it if they just gave it the serious tone it had in the manga. Because the manga was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I put up some pictures and stuff and examples of, you know, it being pretty good in the video. But it's just overall, it's just... I'm just really disappointed in what they're trying to do, honestly, you know. I mean, the character designs were cool. I didn't really see a character that was kind of copied off of another, so there's that, you know, and it was just, it was funny, but at the same time just violent and gory sometimes, every now and again, but it's, you know, some of the characters had the monster face, you know how they darken the character's face and you see, like, the eye glowing? They kind of have that a lot of monster faces of people when they fight. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed the manga. It was pretty good. And the current anime, the chibi anime they're doing, just kind of really disappointing to me. It's just, I really saw potential in this series. You know, they could have made it out there. They could have made it pretty good. You know, I mean, granted, they might have not had enough material because we don't really know if like they did the rest of the manga in Japan or whatever. Because there's only 4 chapters translated here in the United States in English, but there were only 12 chapters that were in Raw. It went up to 12 instead of 4 here. So did they quit it? I don't know. I don't think they did. I just think no. I didn't. There wasn't that much info on it. I just kind of went off what I found. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk about that, get my thoughts. I know it's kind of random to kind of talk about this suddenly, but I just thought this series really could have been pretty cool. You know, I mean, overall the manga. If you haven't read the manga, it's only 4 chapters. Go check it out. It's pretty freaking good. I enjoyed it. You can look up the rest raw if you just want to see the pictures. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed this. I liked the premise of it. It was pretty cool. You know, I mean, some of the characters were kind of interesting. You know, like the guy with the Z name, Zelia, whatever his name was, Zaya. I don't know, but he was pretty cool. I enjoyed him too. But just like I said, it was a pretty good series. The game it needs improvement. I don't know if it acted like this on PC. It probably didn't, but Xbox One, man. Recent releases for the Xbox One have been really bad. Like DC Universe Online, yeah, that's oof, oof. Yeah, the queue times on that game. I'm just waiting until they finally add another server or something. That's just ridiculous. Makes me scared of what Planet Side 2 is gonna be like. Hopefully not bad. Because that's like the only thing I'm looking forward to that's been like on PlayStation is Planet Side 2, because the whole Sony being like being out of business or went bankrupt or whatever. And the Xbox has like, or Microsoft has like the games and partner up with them, whatever. But yeah, enough talking about video games. I just kind of wanted to add this to, you know, I just felt like this anime really deserved better. Not some weird chibi thing that's just little cutie miniature people talking and video game thing. It's not what the universe is. You know, I mean, it's just... yeah, I'm weird. Just bringing something up no one's really ever heard of. So yeah, enough talking about that. But I'll see you guys next time. Check this thing out. It's called Onigiri. Just look up the manga, give it some read. You know, it's pretty decent. So I'll catch you guys later.